because I wanted to give it to Letitia afterwards. Sorry, can you just
thank you.
round the corner here, so it comes through here. And maybe it's a good idea. I can't see and I didn't bring glasses anyway, so it doesn't really help. Okay, I'm not going to talk about tips on shoes. Okay, most of it has been said. I can't talk about blisters because in all my years of walking, I've never had a blister.
Wow.
I don't know how to treat them, I don't know what to do. But I do what the guys, there's some wonderful old fishermen in that camp in the Milkwood Forest there, and they go out early in the morning and they come back, and by the time we get back, they are in their cups. They really had. And so, unfortunately, I'm going to say this in Afrikaans, they said to me one day, I said in English, but you must do what we used to do in the army. In the army, we used to wear our froze pantyhose, and we used to use axle grease. We used to use our froze pantyhose, our wives' pantyhose, and army sokkies. And ons nooit blaas gehad. We've never had blisters. So that theory continues. The science behind it is that the people say, nylon on your feet, no. That layer of Vaseline is vital. Smother it on. It's not yuck. It really isn't. The nylon is a layer that takes the water from your foot through the nylon to be absorbed in your sock. I still believe in cotton socks. I cannot vouch for wicking socks, but Joey will tell me that she wore her kids' school socks for a number of walks and she was fine. She bought this fancy new pair of wicking socks and she got blisters. I don't know, I can't say about that. But the theory is that you must keep your feet dry, and that's what you do to do that. Shoes are vital, and the things that worry me the most are these blisters that are, and we've seen it, the whole sole of the foot. And that is because truly the soles are not thick enough. They are not thick enough. And I would sincerely say that if you walk the cliff path on the very stony parts where the cement is worn away and just the stones stand clear, and you feel those stones, if you're walking 30 kilometers, and I read up, Wiki told me that was 39,700 steps, with each step sore, it's going to be really anal. So you must be sure that the sole is thick enough. Soft, not hard, as we said, but that is to me the single biggest thing. So it's size, it's the size of your shoes has to be bigger. And if I can just add what the others haven't added into that. When you put your shoe on, your foot must fit snugly, but there must be space in the front. Somebody's lost a toenail, that shoe is too small. And if you lose toenails, and you will, if your shoes are too small, that's what's going to happen. But you must lace up your shoe. I'm going to have to hold on because I'll just stand on one foot at a time. You must lace, now I'm fine. You must lace up your shoe here tightly. Your foot should not move backwards and forwards in your shoe because you're adding to the friction. So it must hold your foot comfortably there, but your toes must be able to wiggle freely and not be up against the front of the shoe. The other thing is sand, and that definitely, you have no idea until you've walked Lighthouse where sand can get. In your wildest dreams you don't need sand, like it gets in Lighthouse. It is insidious. So you have to watch that. And I saw somebody the other day wearing wonderful new garters, and she looked great in them, but they didn't cover the top of her shoe, so that doesn't help. It's got to be quite tight, fitting over your shoe, yes. And your gaiter must be over your socks. So the socks must come up higher than the gaiter, okay? That's very important. And your gaiters must be sufficiently long and tight enough to cover your whole foot from the sock. I think that's all I can say on that score.
May you give us a little bit of history of yourself with Lighthouse to Lighthouse?
Oh heavens. Okay, well there's a little bit of argument about how long I've walked. I also started with Nolanda in 2008, and then I walked, let's put it this way, I'm the oldest walker ever that I know. I at one stage had walked the motor walks. Nolanda's now beaten me, and Brunel is going to come up in a few years' time for that. And I'm not there yet, you know, I don't need to prove anything anymore. And I think, but it's again, I think it still is the case, but we don't have too much in the way of records of fundraising. But over and of all the years I've raised money, I've raised more money than anybody else ever has. Now, of course, they've taken raising money to a new level. It's just way next level. Anyway, so that's all I can say on that. I love Lighthouse. I no longer walk because it's irresponsible, not because I can't do it. Well, that probably, if you tested me, I couldn't. We've seen it on Lighthouse so often. When you are tired and you get dehydrated, and I was talking about that, remind me, you're not rational any longer. And you're so determined you're going to do this walk that you cause havoc for everybody else. And we've seen it. Where a lady came up to one of the committee members and said, I will never forgive you for making me get off today. I will never forgive you. I'm not going to be that person. So I gave up, hung my boots. I do walk a bit on Lighthouse, but I work in camp. So be nice to me, I'm the one who gives you your sabbatical. Sergeant Major, she tells me.
Can I just say something? With the bus stops, and then all your luggage is being thrown out there, and then you walk with all your bags and stuff. And Les thought she's going to help the ladies because they live like 100 meters away, and she fell and she broke her arm.
No, what had
No,
happened,
she
the
was
bus
dusty.
The bus drivers were trying to dust off the dusty luggage because the luggage got really dusty that day. And the ladies were saying, where's my bag? I want to get where's my bag? And I thought I would help them. So I went and got a scorpion and I was dusting for them so that people could take their luggage. And I stepped over one of these jolly bags and hooked my foot in. I can't say my lap legs at least. Hooked my foot in and fell under the bus. Anyway, that was fun. I then went back to see Hannes, you all know Hannes, and he fixed my arm and everything. And I said, Hannes, I'm making my granddaughter's matric farewell dress, you know, is it going to be all right? He said, Les, I'm an orthopedic surgeon, I'm not a magician. And then I said, can I go back to camp? And he said, well, if I said no, you'd go back anyway, so go back anyway. And that's what I did. And while I was sitting in the waiting room, I think I raised 1,000 rand from the anyway, so that's a little bit about my history.
Yeah, no,
but I love Lighthouse.
She finished Lighthouse. She walked the other 2 days
with
the rubber arms.
No, but you know, I don't walk on my arm. Your feet are a lot worse. Anyway, so that's enough about that. I can't think. Oh, on dehydration, we get wonderful coffee and it's all donated. And so people love it. Firstly, we've all had a party the night before, and then you go and drink 3-4 cups of coffee. It's the biggest dehydrant, really, on top of the alcohol from last night. And then the whole story of we can't drink too much because we might read. I agree with Melinda. I drink the night before. And if I wake up in the night, I drink. I'm like a camel on the walk. I really don't carry the amount of water everybody else does. But you must hydrate early enough. By the time you start drinking your water, it's actually already a bit too late. But please just do drink enough because dehydration. Judith was the one, and we said you're going to land up in hospital tonight. Oh no, they were. They were partying big time. But party by all means, but hydrate in time. That is probably the message I want.
Just don't walk.
You're not going to get. Simple as that. Okay. And remind yourself that you are not asking for money for yourself. You're asking for money for a good cause, because we're embarrassed to ask for money. But you don't need to be, because Lighthouse is a brand now. It's an amazing brand, which is what, as Antoinette said, it's got to carry on. It just has to. And to carry on, it has to grow. Sadly, people say, 120 ladies. It's got to, otherwise it will die. So you're raising money for a good cause. So remember that always. Most importantly is we are a registered MPO. And as such, people can claim, in certain instances there are rules about it, claim money back from their tax. So people who have got money to give, or companies to give, you must make sure you tell them that they get their section 18A or whatever. Because then the taxman pays it. They're actually not paying it. So make sure that they know that and give you money on that basis. Okay, then I think I told, and which is the reason I'm standing up here today, said that the way I've always done it, and believe me, I don't know about fundraising now. You know, there's so much now with poppy laws and everything, it's very different. But make yourself just a short little message. Start with what Lighthouse is, just a little bit about it, a little bit about what money we have raised for different projects. Just choose one or two. Don't get too many, otherwise they get bored with it. Then you list the beneficiaries, and then I take of late the video clip of the winning charity. It's short, and add that to your presentation for them to look at, because that really, as it draws our heartstrings, it draws theirs. Okay, so you must really do that. And then when you've got all this put together, attach the video clip, make sure that, okay. Then you send this to absolutely every single person on TV, everybody, because you've got to catch as many fish as you can with it. And once you've done that, after the Lighthouse, you go back and you thank everybody that, you say how much we raised and whatever, and rah-rah, and you thank everybody, even those people that didn't give you money, because they might give it to you next year. And if you just ignore them, they don't like it. So please remember, it's not hard. With social media these days, it's one message, you just send it out there. And make sure that they know how it's appreciated and how that money has been spent. It's very important that we use the money only for, I always call it bricks and mortar, a project. We've learnt our lesson, burnt our fingers over the years with money for salaries or, whatever. And that is why we're so strict with it. A lot of people don't agree with it, but we as Lighthouse decide what we want to do, and I think it's right. We have, in this area, 3 buses that I know of driving around, and 2 buses and cars, all branded with Lighthouse, and you see them around town all the time. It's amazing. I still think our best charity is Just Care. Of all the years, there's no question about it. And so we've had amazing success stories, and you're all part of this family now. It's wonderful. I don't ever want to leave it, and I'm hoping to see you all many, many times on Lighthouse. Enough from me.